Load up on guns, bring your friends. Hello, hello, how low? Hello, hello, hello. With the lights out, it's dangerous.
Short story time behind me, $3,000 extra in Korea because of racism. So if you don't follow me, I live in Korea and I have a small hostel. A long while ago, and honestly it only happened once. So 12 Chinese guys booked my place. I gave them a bunch of discounts and they told me that honestly they couldn't find another place to take 12 boys in one space. And they just couldn't afford a bunch of hotel rooms. They were really happy. I said yes, they could all stay here. It was a longer booking. I ended up just giving them the whole floor and I moved some extra beds down there. Usually I would have just let my worker check them in, but they were gonna be there for a while, so I wanted to check them in myself. And I see 12 tourists walking down the street. I knew it was them. We have glass floor to ceiling windows, so I can see everything. Right away, I come outside to greet them. Why, they start doing this and holding each other. One of them comes to block the other guys from me. They're staring at me in horror. You would think I was holding up an axe or something. And the guys in the back keep doing this. They start doing this, and they just start running off with their suitcases. Grown-ass men. I stood there in shock. I knew this was some shit. So I go back inside. I take a picture of them just to show that they came here. I'm inside and had my worker outside with sweeping and cleaning. My worker is white, doesn't speak the best English, mostly Russian. Tell me why these guys come back. I have floor to ceiling windows and balconies. I can see everything. The relief on their face when they see my worker, they run over to him. That guy did not work for me very long. He's not the nicest person. He's pretty rude. He didn't understand their accent. Do not usually have this worker talking to guests. Kind of just does the cleaning for me. He points to me up in the balcony. They look at me in horror and they leave. Okay, I got myself a glass of wine. I'm sitting there. Tell me why the platform they booked me on, a worker from there calls me to tell me they're requesting a full refund because I wouldn't allow them to check in. So I show the guy the picture. No, they refuse to check it. It's an international platform, so the worker that they reached out to is in China. This guy said they wrote word for word, scary black people came to rob them when they showed up at the place and they were unable to check in and they felt unsafe. First of all, who's people? I'm one person. So the first time they came, I told them multiple times, it's me. We're talking. I showed them my phone, or I even called them so they could see their phone ringing. Texted them on the platform. I just saw you. Come back. Please check in. Of course, the guy cannot support what they're saying because clearly I tried to check them in. The crazy part is, guys, I didn't even live there. I had my own apartment, so they wouldn't even have had to live with me. And even though it's a shared house, so they were supposed to share the house, I gave them the floor by themselves as a free service. And my rights, they're not entitled to a refund as long as I provide them with the space that they paid for. Everything is as described online, which it was. So no, I don't have to give you a refund. Next day, they cancel the entire booking thinking they're going to get a full refund for whatever reason. They start blowing up my phone for this refund. I did not answer them. They text me. I answer back text to say a non-refundable booking and the space was available to you and still technically is available, even though it doesn't have to be. So they have a Korean friend call me and he's like, hey, they do want to check in. They can't find another space that'll take all of them. So can they just check in? I think there's a miscommunication. I'm okay with you. It's just the black people trying to rob them and the black lady. To explain to him too, I am the black lady and this is my place. So they can check in, but it's still going to be my place. He's like, oh, okay, what about a refund? I hung up, kept my $3,000, opened the listing up, rebooked the same space. I have never been so happy for racist people before.